just quite simply, I don't know if it's mental or is it physical, but what is going on with Cam Newton?
I think the question really is what's going on with the Panthers. I think as a team, especially offensively, we've struggled. I don't think it's fair to necessarily say, what's wrong with Cam or Cam has struggled. I think collectively as a group, we've struggled. I think we've played poorly around him. And it's funny, I said earlier on Mike and Mike, RG3's comments about it takes all 11 guys to play well for me to do well. What he said is right. The problem is the starting quarterback can't say it, but we can, right? His supporting cast, we need to play better to make Cam Newton play better. And that falls on all of our responsibilities. We need to catch the ball. We need to get open. We need to give him protection. We got to stop getting him hit. These things that now reflect on him negatively are as a result of what's going on around him. And I think collectively we need to do a better job. And I think it's as simple as that.
So what are you guys doing to repair that if it's in fact the team's problem, not necessarily Cam?
We need to play better as a whole. When last week his first pick, that ball goes contested ball goes off my hands, gets picked on the sideline. That shows up in the stat sheet as a Cam Newton interception. Why is Cam Newton struggling? It's not. I catch that ball, or even that ball falls incomplete on the ground. We punt. It's a different story. So again, it all ties in together. There's no greater team aspect in sports than offensive football. There's one mess up can have an impact on all other 10 guys, and I think, for whatever reason, we're seeing that as a whole. Each guy is taking their turn, making a critical error.
So Stephen A., Greg is saying it's not Cam, it's the team's issue. It's not a Cam's issue, but he's taking a brunt of the criticism because he's the face of the franchise. Your question for Greg?
Well, before I have a question, let me say, Greg, that I would respectfully disagree with you, and to some degree anyway, because when I look at it, I think the biggest problem is that the organization took a lot of talent, a lot of weapons away from Cam Newton, and I think that's a part of the problem. Steve Smith is gone, Brandon LaFella is gone, Ted Ginn Jr. is gone. You took 3 or 4 of his primary weapons away from him. Obviously, you were one of the guys, and you were kept. Kelvin Benjamin is no joke, and I like his game, but I think a lot of weapons were taken away from Cam Newton, and that puts him in a really, really tenuous situation. My question to you would be, having said all of that, Cam Newton, in terms of body language, I never played football, never desired to play football. I like watching. I don't want to get hit, okay? But I got to ask you, looking at Cam Newton and his body language and how the towel over the head, the melancholy, if not flat-out sad look that he wears on his sleeves seemingly all the time when he's out there on the football field or on the sidelines. When we say that's got to have a profound effect on the rest of your teammates because you're looking at your quarterback look that way, are we overblowing that, or to some degree do you think there's some legitimacy that gets attached to it, that indeed that body language, that aura of frustration or defeatism or whatever you want to call it that he wears on his sleeves has an effect on you guys?
I'll tell you what we see as a team. When we look at Cam, here's what we see. We see a guy that on 3rd down, if it's 3rd and 6 and things break down back there and he's running to the sideline, and it's a matter of, am I going to sell myself out and dive? We saw it the Thursday night game on his touchdown against New Orleans. Am I going to sell out and dive there and expose myself to getting hit by these guys in the back end when most quarterbacks would just run out of bounds? They got the 1st down. Let's move on to the next play. Are we going to see a guy who day in, day out, game in, game out, lays it on the line, gets back up, gets back in the huddle? It's a crucial 3rd and 1. We're giving him the ball. He's running up in the middle with the big guys, getting back in the huddle. He's a guy that when you look at as a teammate, he sells out every single game to win, to compete, plays hurt, plays banged up. The things that he's played with from the offseason ankle injury all the way through, that's what we see as a guy, and that's why he is our leader unquestioned in the locker room.
But I'm not questioning anything that you just said, and I totally believe you. What I'm asking you is that, having said all of that, when you see him the way that we see him on camera with the towel over his head.
But he has the towel on his head up 21.
That's
true. He puts the towel on his head regardless of the score after every single drive. We come to the sideline. Touchdown, interception, 3 and out, doesn't matter. Up 3 touchdowns, down 3 touchdowns.
So we're overblowing it is what I'm asking you.
I think so.
When we think that, that's all I'm asking.
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
I think that's Cam's thing. Right, he puts the towel on, he tucks it in, and he sits next to Dorse and DA there on the sideline, looks at the pictures, regardless of what happened the time before. That's his thing. That's what he does. That's Cam. That's what makes him. So
he doesn't look frustrated to y'all. He doesn't look frustrated to y'all.
I think at times we're all frustrated. Okay. I think last week we were all frustrated. I know I was frustrated. I don't think frustration should be looked at. I think for whatever reason with Cam, things that go on throughout the league with other starting quarterbacks, other franchise caliber quarterbacks, other elite names like Cam, they get away with things that maybe he doesn't get away with for whatever. Now, I don't know why, but I think he gets criticized for things that are commonplace in the NFL. Yeah, should we be frustrated after a 3-and-out or after a lack of a red zone efficiency and we have to settle for a field goal? Absolutely we should. We don't do this just for fun and giggles. This is serious. We put a lot of pride into this. He should be frustrated.